to be great. So John, it's very interesting. I don't know how long you've been contacting me. 6 months, maybe?
Something like that. Yeah, pretty brief.
So John is like texting me all the time. You know, there was never once in all the times he contacted me, he said, "Well, I don't know if this is going to work, and this is crazy." It was just like, "Okay, Paul, what next? What next? What next?" I'm going, "This guy's on fire. He's sending me videos. His team is just like tearing it up left and right." I'm going, "This guy totally gets it. No excuses. Take it away."
Thanks. Wow. So I just wanted to give everybody, I've got 2 minutes of just kind of painting the picture of who we are, what we do really quickly, and then I'll tell you guys a little bit about what's been valuable for us. Obviously, yeah, I met Paul just via the internet. I was like, this cool guy on YouTube, he's really awesome. And I phoned here, and basically they're like, here's his number, give him a call. So that's how I met Paul. And yeah, just really appreciate being here with everybody here. And yeah, anyways, first question everybody always asks, what is Léon Lebeniste? Or it's a French name, Léon Lebeniste. Ébéniste is actually the French word for cabinet maker. This man doesn't work for us. But anyways, that's the deal with ébéniste. So it's the French word for furniture maker. And Leon was my dog. So people think I'm Leon all the time, but he's Leon. Yeah, totally. He's a worker.
We love dogs.
Yeah, he's a good one. So, yeah, so we're from Squamish, British Columbia. We're a small kind of boutique millwork shop. About 10 people work there. Variety of contractors and things like that. But just wanted to show you guys a little bit about our facility. You know, coming down, obviously seeing this place being really mint and whatnot is really inspiring. We've been, you know, obviously having a lot of fun making improvements, and it's a never-ending deep rabbit hole that, you know, goes on for the rest of your life kind of thing. But and then basically this is our line of work. Our main line of business is custom, you know, one-off millwork type things. So these types of projects that we do, and we also design and manufacture products. So we have some industrial designers that work with us. So we do a lot of CAD modeling, a lot of CNC machining. These types of things actually end up being a bit of our back, you know, weekend project type thing, because our main line of business is quite demanding. So we're working on leaning that out so that we can also supplement, you know, our business with these types of products that we end up doing. But, you know, mainly we're doing one-off things. Lots of design services that we provide as well. So a lot of custom work. And a lot of creative type work as well, just like custom furnishings and things like that. So that's the kind of stuff that we do, because figured you know, everybody's like, what do you do? And I'm like, well, it's, you know, we do a lot of things.
You do what everybody else doesn't know how to do. That's
we like doing things that are really tricky, and that's an interesting, there's actually probably a few people that I'd like to connect with here later on, and sort of that are in our industry, and ask maybe some of their advice. But what's been working for us, really, I would say probably the main highlight would be standard work. Really, like I've seen, you know, a lot of accolades to people here. This is a really great example of standard process, and you know, having a baseline process and then being able to evolve that further. That's really been a fun thing for us. Quite simple what we've been doing in that regard. Basically, we've been really involving our staff in the declaration of what is standard work for us. So I think one of the things that I took away this morning here was watching Lucas, and he was explaining how you guys have been using videos and QR codes to be able to document what the current standard work process is. What we've been doing to date is sort of gathering all the information, because we're a custom shop and there's literally hundreds of different processes that we undertake, and they're always sort of unique. So we've created sort of a template blank form that we give these to our staff, and it's really fun talking about lean, unsupervised lean. We get, you know, guys are working on a process and they bring us back here, look, I documented this process, you know, these are the steps to do it. So we've created these blank worksheets that we call a process engineering sheet, where they'll say, hey, this is step 1 through whatever. And then what we've been doing is we've been taking that information and inputting that into our estimation and our planning software. Because the type of work that we're doing, we're oftentimes getting a design intent from an architect or a design firm, and we need to create estimates on what that is. So we're taking basically the standard processes that we're declaring, and then being able to apply those to our estimates as we create them. And the idea with that down the road is also to be able to have, it's basically having congruent information in terms of what we've decided is our current standard process, and using that in our estimation processes, and then actually taking that information and outputting it as sort of, this is how we dispatch work. So if we say, hey, these are our planned tasks, we're taking the standard process that we planned with our team and then outputting that for fabrication. So basically, I guess the value in that for us has been that it's sort of created a continuous loop in terms of working with our staff and having them say, this is what we're doing currently, this is our process, and then we're using that for our actual estimation, and then we're outputting it to the shop floor, and it just has been going around in a continuous fashion. So basically any of those improvements that we've been capturing there are coming back. So we found a lot of value in that. Same thing with the morning meeting. Coming down here and seeing how the morning meeting agenda is structured here was really valuable. There's been a number of areas we have a set of principles that we've been discussing, which over the course of time, one of the issues we bump up against is we're talking about all these 10 different principles on a daily basis. And one of the takeaways I got here this morning was to see that you have a list of 21 principles, and we're going to pick one today. So we're not going to talk about 21 on a daily basis, but just a simple, just the simple structure of how you're doing that here, I think is something that we're going to take away, and I think is valuable because it's not like.
And you think about it in the context, we've been doing that for 10 years, easily talking about the same 21 principles every day, over and over again.
Totally. So for us, for our guys, it's like great, like there's value in talking about all of those things, but to just run through 21 on a daily basis would be kind of mundane, be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think there's, that was a takeaway that I got that I'll bring back with me is to say, hey, look, like this is where we are. We're going to discuss this one and how this is relevant. And, tomorrow we'll talk about something else. So, but again, standard work, standard practice. We talked about culture and how creating those ritualistic, like we've run a morning meeting every single day since November 1st. And, we wouldn't ever think about not doing that. So anyways, that's been beneficial. Culturally, this is the mindset of improvements is really, I think, is the really fun and really impactful part of this whole philosophy that I've experienced, be it with like my work team, but also just I think in life, personally and talking about continuous improvement. So I don't know if this video is going to work, but the improvement itself is insignificant, but I think what I like about this is it illustrates that everybody's really just the way they're thinking and the way they're having fun with it. So I don't know if it'll work, but let's see, maybe I can hit a space bar.
Was this given in a PowerPoint?
It's linked to a YouTube film, but.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I don't see the link underneath there. So there was a link, hey?
I could probably find it pretty quick.
Go ahead, yeah, do it. So John, my question to you is while you're doing that, did any of your guys push back on
Tons of pushback.
Tons of pushback.
Well, more actually, so, I mean, it might, if I go into this, it might take a little bit more time, but some of the improvements that I've been working on from a broader perspective, not call them too small 2-second improvements, but things that are more really foundational to our overall processes. I've undertaken, I've committed to making changes that have been they're rocking the boat a lot. And there's actually a quote in there. Anybody know of Robin Sharma? Anybody ever read any of this guy's books? But he says that all change is, I don't know, he says it's really messy in the beginning, it's horrible in the middle, and it's beautiful at the end type thing. And so it's definitely felt like that. It's been really confronting in many ways, but it was like I called you a few months ago and I said, hey, look, I'm thinking about taking this completely different approach. I'm getting a lot of pushback. And you said, people are really sort of naturally inclined to be short-term thinkers. So the long-run outcome is amazing. The road to getting there is really messy. So that's the type of pushback that I've experienced, but I think that at the end of the day, it's very valuable.
You're doing custom millwork, and I heard you say that you're trying to bring that value stream full circle and actually know your costs.
Yep.
That's in a custom production.
It's never ending. It's never ending. So I'll show this quick film. It's really just to sort of illustrate. I don't know if there's. We got no sound.
Oh, here. The video, we got to drag it over. Can you get that?
This is I thought of something very innovative and new, and we're gonna.
That's why we have Brady here.
Brady. Oh, there you go.
Brady.
Heat is on.
Can you just go full screen now?
Is he gonna switch to the other screen? Oh, you got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Apply it to our CNC machine. So Chris, why don't you explain what improvement you made?
Well, basically the last few days I've been using the CNC machine here, and this little sweep cover has a tendency to fall off when it's doing its path.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous. I came back and looked it down and it's floating around, and then I got to get my hand in there, and that's even more dangerous because you don't want your hands near the CNC machine.
And you don't want to lose a tongue, right?
No. No, like one of our experienced CNC workers over here has to eat with 4 fingers now. Both tongues. Don't lose your tongue. Now,
Not anymore.
so one thing that we decided to do was basically, because this item here comes without, was the before. This is kind of how it looked before. This is how we made it look after. Basically, put a little notch in there so that
Reduces the risk of it falling.
it no longer falls.
So the way it works, how does it work?
Well, basically, you just pop that sucker right up in there,
Ah.
give it a little turn.
So there's that little bolt that holds the piece up.
And before we had that, you had to like jam this in, like you really had to like tighten it, over tighten it.
Now
Here,
it's just a little snug fit.
you don't even have to over tighten it.
Brilliant.
Can't even fall out anymore.
Love it. Now we're gonna save defects from happening. Therefore, no more over processing and reducing waste. Way to go, Chris.
Exactly. Yes.
Love it.
Nice work.
Anyway, so the point of it isn't necessarily the improvement, but it's more just that they're having fun, they're thinking in this fashion, and just culturally, I mean, they're having a lot of fun thinking of how to make things better, and that's very much what I see happening here, is that Paul's created this really great environment where everybody's just like invited to use their intelligence to make things better on a daily basis. Not sure here. Could I call for help, maybe? I just want to figure this one out.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm just trying to get this back.
So, John, the question I have for you is,
Okay.
Let's go.
where is the resistance at this point in the game? You're 6 months into this.
Well,
Is it gone?
no, it's variable. I think, I think everybody sees the value in it. I think I have a business partner who is intended to be here today, and I really did actually urge him to come. And he is he's very committed to lean, and he's also
But not as much as you.
not as much as I am. He's very, he's like, oh, I have this much on the go, and I got to put my head down and keep it going. And I'm like, well, that's fair enough. But I would argue very much so that the opportunity to spend one day with a group of really talented and experienced people is probably worth its weight in gold, in my mind. So in my mind, there's no question that I would ever sort of forego being here type thing. But it's sort of like Norman was saying, oh, there's no room in the budget, this, that, and the other sort of thing. So that's probably the only area of resistance type thing.
What is the number one reason that you were attracted to lean? What was it that made you say, oh my gosh, I'm doing this?
It was an interview that I watched with you and, gosh, what's his name, from GE. He's a senior guy from, I think he was a top guy at GE.
Jack Welch?
No, what's his
No, I
name?
didn't interview Jack Welch.
He's the injection molding guy.
Yeah,
Oh, Art Burn.
Art Byrne, totally.
Byrne.
And he was talking about doing lean from the position of a CEO and seeing it really as a strategic thing. And he was like, when I saw this, he was like, I was really hooked, and I thought it was the only way to run a business. And I couldn't agree more. I think that, what's possible in terms of taking a force of people and really capturing their minds and their intelligence is amazing. And I think if you don't do that, I think you're selling yourself short, and I think you're disrespecting the intelligence of the people that work for you. Because if you just go and tell them, hey, go do this, it's kind of mindless. So to me, this is really honoring people, and I think that the result of it is phenomenal.
So the idea and the notion that it's a strategic decision,
Mm-hmm.
and not just a, cool. This is going to put you and differentiate you from everyone else.
Yeah. So I think it's a long road. I think it's a long run approach.
Right.
You know, I think it's being willing to forego short-term profit
I think the real story is going to be when you get your business partner to get it.
Yeah, I think he gets it, but he's you know, that's his person.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah.
As long as you put your head down, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't work that way. You know, I'm brutally honest.
His actions are speaking louder than
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is true. So anyways, no, I mean, and I'd like to maybe, you know, we could talk further about that. You know, and then I got a bunch of, you know, just a bunch of pictures of cool improvements that we've made. And then the people that actually, this is people from Southern California, I think, that are kind of a larger millwork outfit. I don't know who those people are. Maybe if you're here, maybe could you put your hand up? I'm not sure who that is.
The millwork from Southern California?
I think so. I know there's the people from Wildwood that are here.
But Ken and Dave, they do
Okay.
millwork in North Tennessee?
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I could go on about these things, but that's kind of captures it in a nutshell, at least in terms of what we're doing.
Well, congratulations on making a great decision.
Thanks,
You
yeah.
never look back.
Thanks, yeah, no, I won't. I appreciate it. Yeah.